The Sony Spider-Man cinematic universe continues its expansion with Morbius the Living Vampire.
I think we got a good one on our hands here.
Nay, I say we got a great one on our hands. After all, this is from the director of Safe House, Child 44, and Life, and the screenwriter of Dracula Untold, The Last Witch Hunter, and Gods of Egypt, starring the man who redefined the Joker, Jared Leto, and the man who single-handedly has carried the Fast franchise, Tyrese Gibson. A man who's great with his money.
We are all in well-trusted hands.
Oh, by the way, the Oscars came out. Joker's got 11 Oscar nominations. I'm sure Jared Leto's really happy about that. We're gonna do a live stream later today, talking about those noms, probably around 3:45 Pacific Standard Time. So subscribe and click that notification bell so you can get notified when that live stream is up or for other videos. Let's swing into this.
Since you were a child. You're the gift. You always have.
Jerry Harris.
If there's an answer to the disease, you'll find it.
Oh yeah. String music. Yeah,
Hans Zimmer.
I should have died years ago. No. Why am I still here if not to fix this? I have a rare blood disease, and I'm not out of time. This could be my last chance.
You're up to something, what is it?
That's not exactly legal.
It's a real Batcave.
I want to see you get hurt more than you already have.
This would be a cure.
Ooh.
It really does look like Batman Begins look.
Yeah.
At what cost?
Uh-oh.
Bass drop.
I want you to die.
Yeah!
I got buff.
The speed.
Nightcrawler.
Echolocation.
That's the echolocation power, okay.
And overpowering urge to consume blood. Or are we allowed to go?
Spider-Man!
Oh, and Tyrese. And Matt Smith. Show us.
To the remedy.
Ooh.
Is worse than the disease.
Oh. It's the promo pic. Hit.
Michael Morbius. Got that been a little good guy thing, huh?
Whoa! Look out.
It's really, really tied in!
It's crossing over.
Oh, that
Where's
was cool.
Tom Hardy? Where's Tom Holland?
that was
Where's all
cool.
the Toms?
Well, you did see Spider-Man in the background. It said murderer right there.
did.
That kind of looks like the Tobey Maguire outfit.
It does look kind of like the T McG. Maybe you'll get your Spider-Verse with all the live-action Spider-Man.
I hope so. I mean, that looks cool. It's probably after Far From Home. And then, of course, Michael Keaton's Vulture showing up.
Yeah, man.
It's exciting. Sony and Marvel clearly work something out where they can really start tying their crap in.
That whole title sequence from the studio that brought you, and I was sitting there going, shouldn't this be like one of the studios that brought you? Because that's gonna obviously confuse people for intentional reasons.
Well, it's like when the Venom promos were coming out, all the, is it connected to MCU or not? This clearly connects it.
Clinches it.
Yeah. I don't know what deal they worked out, but that's pretty cool to see those Spider-Man tie-ins.
Get that Sinister Six universe.
Now let's talk about the actual trailer of Morbius itself. I didn't know much about the movie, what the approach was going to be to this. I was assuming, you know, it's a vampire story of sorts. So I was like, okay, it's got to be somewhat horror-based. And you got some of that, like, horror, grain look kind of like that Conjuring universe vibe, mixed with some cinematography that really reminded me of the Venom look and aesthetic. Sort of grimy looking stuff here. Weirdly, even though this trailer was consistent in the tone with the music that it had, it seemed to be a very serious movie. You know, I'm still a little bit unsure what the overall vibe would be. They're calling this a teaser trailer, and even though it's pretty long, I can see why it's a teaser, because I'm still like, what's really the personality of this movie? Is it going to be a superhero movie because you see Morbius doing all this like really cool stuff that looks super heroic? I didn't know what Jared Leto his approach was going to be with this. I remember Morbius from the Neogenic storyline in the Spider-Man 90s animated series, who had like a real Transylvanian kind of accent. Yeah. But in the comics, I think he's from Greece.
Cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then here he just seems like American. And for a guy with his handicap and his rare blood disease, he turned out great looking. Lucky him. I didn't know if they were going to make Michael Morbius Morbius when he gets infected with a vampire bat DNA, if he would be a little bit unattractive. Apparently not.
At all.
He looks exactly like Jared Leto.
Very skinny Jared Leto, and then he'll become a very buff Jared Leto, because that's what superpowers do. No matter how you mess them up, they make you buff. Abs, pecs, all of the above.
What did you think?
I thought this was a pretty cool trailer, all things considered. It kind of reminded me of, Doctor Strange circa Batman Begins circa Venom. Yeah, it looks pretty intense and serious and stuff like that. It looks kind of maybe a bit solitary. I'm very skeptical of the Sony Spider-Verse, but given the parts of Venom that did work, and the tone we're being presented with here, I'm like cautiously optimistic about this, and I'm excited I know people got really jazzed when they put out the promo image of him in the actual Morbius transformation.
That looks
makeup.
great.
Yeah,
that looks great.
Cool.
That looks practical. I mean, the eyes look a little digital. And they probably did digital enhancements, obviously. Yeah. Even though you don't get a full body image.
Just the bat nose and
face
the fangs,
looks like thick.
The scowling eyebrows. Like, it doesn't look like something that would be too hard to do with makeup and look pretty convincing.
I guess what is kind of missing for me when I was talking about, like, the tone's pretty evident in how serious of a trailer it is. Then again, Venom was pretty serious. That turned out a lot more goofy than anticipated.
That's true.
I am wondering what is truly unique about this one. You know, other than the fact that you are having a vampire character here.
It seems like Sony's Spider-Verse is very anti-hero based right now, so I can kind of expect some of that vibe too.
Well, I'm wondering if they're building up their own sort of Sinister Six or Insidious Six. Are they going to have like Venom and Morbius go up against Spider-Man? Like, because there was talks about Kraven the Hunter, that they're developing that one as well. I'm not sure what they're doing with these franchises. They do have Blade coming into the MCU, and Blade and Morbius have crossed paths. Oh, yeah. Which just makes sense considering who Blade hunts. Either way, I mean, the fact that they're connecting this more towards the MCU, I do wonder if they let Kevin Feige have some input on this one. I feel like they oughta.
Especially if they want those crossovers with the MCU as badly as they've been hinting that they do. You know, and they're like, Tom Holland's gonna make a cameo in Venom too. Like, I bet that if that arrangement got made, some involvement from the MCU proper had to have been struck.
I guess what I really want for this is to truly commit to the darkness that it is communicating. Because a lot of this, honestly, could be really just corny and very cheesy. It really can be. Come on, look at the trailers. Watch the first half of the trailer. Or, if they pull off the tone, it could be very effective. I am concerned about it being unintentionally cheesy when it's trying to be this serious.
Yeah, especially because, like Jared Leto, there's something about Jared Leto in these types of performances too, where like, even as Joker, for how gleeful Joker is, there's like not a sense of fun I have gotten from him in a comic book environment. And even though I do appreciate, that not every comic book movie has to be fun, I do think that, you need to strike the right balance so that this isn't just an over serious, dour, like wacky fantasy. Because I feel like, it could easily teeter on that. But if it does keep the right level of height, I think a lot of the stuff they're showing here looks pretty cool. And Eminem's doing the song for this one too. Morbius!
This looks better than I actually thought it would look. It's not going to be rated R. I really hope that somehow they could double down on the violence, like really at least teeter towards R rating. Maybe they would.
Blood.
Maybe, especially with having the horror elements to it.
Make it edgy.
Yeah, really just make you feel like this feels R-rated, but it's not.
Yeah.
At least go there with your thing. I really thought we'd probably get like anti-hero vibes. This feels just like a hero.
That's the thing I most got that was a Doctor Strange feel, is like, okay, this guy's gonna go through a procedure, things are gonna get way messed up, then he's gonna have to like torturously learn his power, and then, figure out how to use it by the end.
All right, guys, well, what'd you think of this Morbius trailer? Are you excited for it? Do you have a lot of faith? What comics do you recommend? Do you think this will be better than Jared Leto's Joker performance? Are you sick of people talking about Jared Leto's Joker performance? Comment below. But before we wrap this up, I'd like to end this with a patron of the day shout out to a handsome man named J.N. Valente. I really went through the list of shout outs and I said, who is the one that has the most vampirism to him? And I would have to say it's J.N.
Oh, yeah.
First off, European. I always imagine a sort of a Transylvanian accent when it comes to the guy. He disappears for a long period of time. I'm assuming because he needs to suck on some blood and regenerate.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the vibe I get from you, Jan.
All the traveling you've done, you have to have been, like, abducted and bitten at some point. Maybe that's why we don't hear from you very often. Maybe it's hard to find internet during the nighttime where you're at. Come visit us in bat form, because that would probably be easier on you, and you get a workout in getting here. So that's what I have to add to this.
Yes, you have.